What else we got? Blah 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 blah. This is so sad. I have to, in order to remember what I've done in the week, I have to look over to the left and look at my video producer tab on Twitch because I can't remember what I've actually covered. Yeah. So the other thing is an ongoing section in the segment of my wife made me watch a movie and I didn't really want to watch it, but then I watched it. And sometimes it's good, and this time it wasn't. Because last night I watched goddamn fucking Moulin Rouge.
Roxanne. Du-du-du-du-dum. You don't have to put on that red light.
Oh, no.
Maybe
Oh, no.
it
Moulin
may be
Rouge,
the
baby.
shittiest movie I have ever seen in my goddamn
I love it.
life. This app,
Oh, no.
it is Baz Luhrmann's 1999 pre-YouTube poop fucking dump on the audience. This manic, bloated, aimless, dog shit jukebox musical that to switch scenes per sentence, randomly drop into 12 frame a second cuts for drama, have essentially no story over a 2+ hour film. And the worst of all, go jukebox musical in which I just want to say lines, but I'm going to just steal pieces of the chorus of 5 different songs in one scene so that I can say we should be lovers and that's a fact. Like it's a fucking line of dialogue before switching over to like a Queen song. What an absolute piece of fucking shit. I was unironically cheering when Nicole Kidman died of TB.
I was at the world premiere of that movie
Get the fuck out.
That was in Montreal, where Baz Luhrmann himself was at the fucking forum for the premiere, and I was in the audience with my buddy, and we saw the start of that. After, of course, Romeo plus Juliet. So you know what? Now that this is what's up next after Mamma Mia, and then we talked about across the universe for a second there as well. Like, I'm seeing a pattern, and I'm thinking that what Paige is going for is what Paige is loving the modern musical using pop songs in
she's a huge
cinematic context.
Huge musicals nerd.
I think that's what's going on there, because there's a bunch of covers in Moulin Rouge that are fire, super awesome covers of songs.
So that's
all I think about when I think back on it, is just like, oh man, that El Tango de Roxanne is the shit.
I couldn't stand a single one of them.
It was so good.
I fucking hated them.
Ewan McGregor comes out the house, and then there's the light shining behind him as he does the chorus.
Okay, so I really want to point something out here in terms of what you're saying, what Paige is going for, what Paige likes. Okay, I really want to point out very strongly, I have seen the George Lucas animated musical Strange Magic twice because of this woman. That movie sucks shit. That movie fucking sucks. And I've seen it twice. I've also come to the conclusion, and I feel really strongly about this. The jukebox musicals are musicals made by trash writers who couldn't bother to come up with their own songs. Absolute fucking hacks. Oh, hey, honey. Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate it.
How did that just happen?
And none of that disqualifies them from being entertaining as fuck.
I like the first 40 I counted it. It was 47 minutes before the movie to me started. It opens with a musical scene into musical scene into musical scene that's all super manic because they're high on absinthe or some shit. And it's so fast, like scenes don't even have continuity between cuts, and just go. And the first time they actually speak to one another like humans, like they're in a fucking movie, like they're acting, is 47 minutes into the fucking movie. and then it just drags like the most basic fucking love story across another hour and 20 minutes.
Important question.
It's fucking trash.
Did you see Romeo plus Juliet?
I did not see Romeo plus Juliet.
Okay. Because that, which features your favorite, of course, John Leguizamo, is the introduction to Baz Luhrmann's style. And I have to admit, if Moulin Rouge is your first time seeing a Baz Luhrmann movie, then you're gonna not knowing what you're in for, you're getting whiplash in the middle of the roller coaster ride when like Romeo plus Juliet is also that batshit crazy with its pacing, and it's music video-esque because like everything has to be musical. But it's just all about getting really like a fun cover in a modern context of something. Yeah,
no, Baz Luhrmann is just Zack Snyder with more cocaine.
Yes. I'm not gonna I will not deny that. It is coked up Snyder. It is happening for sure. The difference, I suppose, is I don't mind if you hand Romeo and Juliet to him as opposed to Watchmen. So like totally though. I am not saying it ain't trash, but I just remember that fucking soundtrack and those scenes and that music was fun to listen to. Those were some fun ass covers, and I ain't gonna diminish that. I ain't gonna hide that. That's real.
So here's the part where I get to have a really shitty music take and everyone gets to be mad at me. Generally, I don't really like covers that aren't just the same song, but literally better. So when I hear a cover of a song, I want it to be a better produced, more talented version in the same style of the song. When you take something and you're like, I'm going to do it in a new style so that it can be terrible, I'm not super into it. Now, granted, I don't think people usually sit down to make a cover that's intentionally awful, but most are.
See, I love a good cover. I don't think every cover like surpasses the original. You're not always going to get Johnny Cash just annihilating your song and making it his. Mm-hmm. But like that is the peak of what a cover can be. Right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that if you don't succeed that, you should burn your cover and throw it away because it is now wasting space when you could have just used the original.
I know. I love a good cover that brings something different to the situation. I love when after I've listened to a song a lot and I love hearing it, I like hearing a different energy take on it. I like hearing if it's someone goes for a more acoustic version of something. It's fun, or an arrangement that's more orchestral.
So Woolie, are you saying that you're a big fan of Limp Bizkit's Behind Blue Eyes?
I don't have a lot of Limp Bizkit opinions. I feel that when Limp Bizkit came out, I kind of looked down at my skin and went like, I don't know if I'm allowed to have an opinion on this music, but
you are absolutely. Absolutely.
But I can say that like, no, I've many times I've gone down a rabbit hole of like when I want to hear a song and then I hear like and then I'm like I really get into the mood, I can go hear a cover of it and then just look for like even like YouTube covers and try to find one that's really cool, you know? And some of them are terrible, but every once in a while you hit on one that's fucking great, like and not necessarily surpassing, just a completely different thing.
So here's the actual point, right? I need to zero in on it because it's very it's specific. It might be insane. Yeah, I'm totally cool with a different style. But if the cover isn't better than the original song, delete it. Make it go away.
Yeah.
Because now I'm in a situation where when a song comes on, I can hear the good version and the not good version of the song.
See, but I like, for example,
like a movie remake, right? Like no one watches the remake of Total Recall. You just want to watch Total Recall.
Yeah,
right?
But now when I look up Total Recall, the fucking shitty new version can show up.
No, because when FF7R came out and released a whole new soundtrack and then 8
Yeah,
or
they're
9
all
follow-up
better
albums.
than the originals. They're way better. That soundtrack's incredible.
It is, but I also do sometimes want to hear the original though. Like there's a time when I want to go back to that for certain tracks, you know? Like it doesn't just 100% replace. It makes me want to
This is fascinating. This is fascinating because the way you feel about music is the way you feel about everything else in opposite.
I remember when Chrono Trigger arranged soundtracks came out, and some of them were hits, some of them were miss, and then there were multiple Chrono Trigger soundtracks that came out over time. But I always would be like, I love this cover of World Revolution. That's a really fun listen. Overclocked Remix as a website exists because covers are fun to listen to, but sometimes I just want to hear the original Storm Eagle track, not the air-based version of it.
No, guess what? You used OC Remix and you just proved my point. They need to go into the world and destroy every version of the song The Battle for Everyone's Souls, because once that Space Jam version came out, I don't want to fucking hear the original without the goddamn Space Jam lyrics. I want it to go away. I want it to have never existed.
Man, like I'm just looking at the entirety of like Triple Q and his career going away, and like Too Mellow.
No. Triple Q's versions are almost always better than the shit he's taking from.
There's unbelievable mixes out there, but
Triple Q has taken a Jonas Brothers song and turned it into one of my favorite tracks.
And Wonderful 101 and like all that, like it's incredible. But there are times where you still want to hear the original version with different energy. I don't know. Hey, Susie, you're here. You can weigh in on a hot take from Pat for once here. Should a cover 100% delete all previous versions of a song as soon as it comes out?
No.
Okay, well there we go.
Listen, I'll say, for as much as I love Midge Ure's The Man Who Sold the World, and like Kurt Cobain's Man Who Sold the World, I don't like you know, I don't really want to get rid of like the original like version of it, you know, or like any other covers that I think like suck, but you know, I don't know. Like this is a very weird topic to have a discussion about.
I mean,
I've never thought about this a day in my life.
I was really sad when Ewan McGregor did not die at the end of Moulin Rouge. I was like legitimately like, when the gun is being thrown around, I'm like, oh, fucking shoot him. I don't care if it breaks continuity. I don't give a fuck. Also, from a real perspective, from a love story, I don't know how well you remember the movie, but when Ewan thinks that Satine is leaving him, and he just goes to the bank and gets all of his money and takes it to her so he can like grab her and scream in her face, "Aren't you just a whore? Why can't I pay you?" Like a fucking psycho. Yeah, that's not a cool hero of a dashing love story where all you need is love. He is being an abusive, psychotic piece of shit. What the fuck is going on?
I don't remember that because I'm remembering Voulez-vous coucher avec moi.
That is literally 4 seconds of the whole movie.
Have you seen Purple Rain?
I've not seen Purple Rain.
Because I love Prince, but whenever I watch Purple Rain and there's scenes where he's beating his girlfriend and throwing her into a river naked,
hey man,
like,
it's art.
Wait a minute. He's supposed to be a cool guy. What happened?
No, the other day I heard the song. You know the song from Vacation, Holiday Road? Like, I heard that and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that had like a fun little melody. And I went back and I was listening to it and I was like, damn, this is catchy. And then I was looking it up and then I found a cover that was like a kind of like a ska punk cover of it that was fucking great and just a completely different energy. you know. And that's the thing is like there are times where you want one mood or you want another mood. There are times when you're feeling like Devil Trigger, and there are times where you want something a little more Silver Bullet, you know,
Right.
with the motif going.
So before I move off of Moulin Rouge, other than like I legitimately hate it like the more than I think almost any. I Paige loves garbage. She loves trash. So like I've seen shit like Birdemic with this woman. Birdemic is the cheapest, shittiest horror movie ever made. Like she introduced me to Neil Breen, you know, and The Room and shit like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Loves trash, and I can appreciate that. Moulin Rouge is like the worst, and I can pinpoint like the exact emotional of the worst, which is it is so 1999 YouTube big budget garbage that when it pans away from sad Ewan McGregor, in the credits start to roll, it should start playing Numb by Linkin Park over the credits like a fucking Transformers movie. That's the quality level that I acquired from this, is like sub Transformers but for like theater girls.
See, the funny
Instead
thing
of
is,
like big robot aficionados, it's like, oh, the theater. Oh, it'd be so romantic if this
That's a good
story was
comparison.
dumb.
you see, the funny thing is, like, you just mentioned a song where the remix slash cover replaced the original entirely, in that Numb no longer exists because there is only Numb Encore. Right?
Okay.
The like every time you hear the beginning of Numb, you expect to hear Jay-Z's voice kick in like 2 seconds later, because that
Oh,
just
by the way,
completely.
I have an excellent question from the chat, which is worse, Moulin Rouge or Rent? It's definitely Rent.
Yeah,
Rent
Rent is actually the worst.
Rent is bad to the point of being immoral.
Yeah.
Rent is, God, I could do an hour 30 on how awful Rent is, and it would just be the same thing
Same.
over and over and over.
Rent is
So
like
what? I got
is
AIDS.
like
I'll give it to whoever. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
That's the
Rent is
song.
like it's like one of those stories where you're like, you know, we're gonna make a pro LGBT story and it'll be great, and you know, fuck the man and all this stuff, and then it's just like painting LGBT people like in the worst possible light of all time, and you're just like, how did this happen? We started with good intentions.
Yeah, it's really wild. It's an
Like, what the fuck
LGBT
happened?
story written by a gay man who is dying of AIDS.
At the
Who
time,
Yeah.
he
died
passed
of
away.
AIDS
Yeah,
right after it got made. And it's
yeah.
like, it's the fucking worst thing with the worst people in the world. It's the most unsympathetic fucking portrayal of anyone ever.
Yeah.
And it's by the group that it's about. And it's fucking terrible.
Was it Cats? Weren't you talking about how Cats was also super fucked up if you actually pay attention to
Cats
what's
is-
happening?
Oh my God. Cats the musical is awful. That's the thing. Cats is fucking terrible. And so Cats the movie is terrible, but also shittily made.
You know, when I was a young kid, I went on a field trip to see Cats.
Fuck yeah.
Because I grew up in New York, and after the show, they gave us all cheeseburgers. Like the cats came into the crowd and gave us
Wow.
cheeseburgers. And
Wow.
I remember that. I will remember that for the rest of my life. It's
That
one of my
sounds
greatest memories.
Weird.
Man.